Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is Aisha Nazir. In the previous lecture, we have discussed the concept of pipelining. The main purpose of pipelining is that its CPI must be equal to 1. It means each instruction executed in one clock cycle. But there are different scenarios in which instructions never completed in one clock cycles due to different problems. These problems in computing known as hazards. So there are different types of hazards in pipelining that cause the delay in the completion of an instruction in one clock cycle. So let's see which are the hazards that cause the delay in processing of an instruction. So what is hazards in pipelining? Hazards are problems that occur during execution of an instruction. Hazards cause delay in instruction execution. In pipelining, CPI is equal to 1, means one instruction should be out at per clock cycle. In each CPI, one instruction should be executed, but due to hazards, often it becomes very difficult to execute one instruction per clock cycle. So basically, there are three types of hazards in pipelining. Number one is data hazard, which is further divided into three parts. The second one is resource or structure hazard, and the third one is the controls hazards. So let's start with the data hazards. What is the data hazards and its different types? Data hazard are basically those hazards when instructions trying to use resources that are not ready, that are not in state that you can use it. There can be multiple type of resources like RAM, register and processors. So multiple instructions trying to use resources that are not in ready state. For example, the processor is not configured properly yet. The RAM is hanged. The RAM is already in other instructions use, or the RAM is not in ready state that the instructions that it starts execution. So in this way, the data hazards occur. So there are three different types of data hazards. The first one is raw. That is, as you have often heard the word raw material. So the raw stands for read after write. Read after write. It's a true dependency. After that, the second one is var. Var is write after. It's an anti-dependency. The third one is wave. The wave is write after write, and it's an output dependencies. What all these three hazards are? Let's understand it with examples. So the first one is read after write hazards. For example, we have two instructions. The first instruction is A is equal to B plus C. And the second instruction is D is equal to A plus E. So A has the value, when we add the value of B and C, then it will stores in A. In the same way, D will has the value when we add the value of A. In the value of A, we add the value of E. Let's understand it with the phase diagram scenario. So this is the first instruction. It will execute the first stage, that is data fetching and decode. Then operand fetch. It will fetch the operand at the value of B and C. Then it will execute. It will perform the operation. It will perform the addition. Then it will stores in memory, right? It will obviously, when it will perform execution, it needs memory. Then it's storing the memory, and then it writes back, and here at 5th clock cycle it will write the value of A. So as we all know that in pipelining architecture, when the instruction 1 is in second stage, then the first stage is empty. Then we start executing we load instruction into the processor. So in the second clock cycle, when the instruction 1 is fetching the operand, in this state, the instruction 2 start executing, it will fetching the data to decode. So instruction 2 needs a value here because the second instruction is a plus e. So it needs the value of a in fetching data. So the value of a it will never find because in the first instruction the value of a is saving in 5th clock cycle. That is right back. So the result of instruction 1 will be written in the 5th clock cycle. While in the second instruction we are accessing, we are fetching the data in the second clock cycle and in the third clock cycle. So here we need the value of a, which is not available because the instruction 1 will write it in 5th clock cycle and we need that data in the third clock cycle in the second instruction. So the hazard, the delay will occur. That will cause a problem because we are accessing that data that is not in memory yet. Because in the third clock cycle, if we are in the second instruction, we are fetching the operand, then in the first clock cycle, it is perform execution because it at this stage, it doesn't have the value of a. It's just performing b plus c. It's just performing b plus c at this state. And after that, it will use the memory and it will write back the answer. That is a value. While in the second instruction, we are accessing the operand, we are fetching the operand at the third clock cycle. That is not possible. This caused the delay. So always read after write means we write at 5th clock cycle, but in second clock instruction, we reading at third clock cycles. Then raw will occur, read after write hazard occur. So always read after write, right? So this is not possible that you haven't write the value and you are using in the next instruction the same value. So this caused the delay. Hopefully you understand the concept. So the second hazard is wave. Write after write hazards. So what is the write after write hazards? Suppose we have two instructions. Instruction 1 is a is equal to b multiply c. For example, b has the value 8, c has the value 2. So the output of instruction 1 would be 16, right? In the same way, instruction 2 has the addition operation. Again, it's saving the value in a. That suppose the value of d is 8 and v value is 2. So 8 plus 2 is equal to 10. So according to the sequence, the first value in a would be 16. In the a box, the first value would be 16. And the second value, when the second instruction will be executed, then the a value would be 10, right? The first instruction output would be 16. The second instruction output would be 10. But in processing, we know that there are some operations that consume more time. Multiplication and division consume more time as compared to addition and subtraction. So in parallel processing, or there are multiple scenarios in which multiplication takes more time and addition and subtraction takes very less time. So this is possible that the instruction 2 performs first because it takes very less time. When the operation has been performed, it saves the value in a. So the first value of a, because it performs first as compared to the multiplication. So maybe there are scenarios in which a's value is 10, and after that, when the first instruction completed execution, then it will override the value of A as 16, right? But what was the sequence? Sequence was the first instruction output should be 16 and the second instruction output should be 10. But in processing delay, there are different scenarios in which it will override the value. First it will calculate 10 and then it will override to 16. So this causes hazard. This performs misleading the information. Maybe there are different scenarios in which the A value is further using in some other calculations. Then instead using of A value that is 10 according to the sequence, it will use the value 16. That will further wrong the calculations. So in short, multiplication takes more time, then addition, then result would be first 10 and then 16, which is incorrect. Why? First instruction output is 16. So first output should be produced 16. But now here, because the multiplication is performing late and addition is performing earlier, so the first value would be 10 and the second value would be 16. So that would be leads to incorrect calculations. Or in parallel processings, when we perform parallel executions, parallel operations, if addition performs first and multiplication performs second, then A would be the first value, that is 10, then the 16. But according to sequence, first should be 16 and then 10. But there are different scenarios in which addition performs first and the first value would be A is 10, and then when it performs the second instruction, that output is 16. So this leads to miscalculations. So this is wave hazards or write after write hazard. After that, the third hazard of data hazards is war hazard. War is write after read hazards. What is write after read hazard? First read data, then apply multiplication, right? We will proceed with the same previous example. For example, we have two instructions. Instruction 1 in which it performs A is equal to B static C, means B multiplied by C, and then instruction B in which B is equal to D plus E. So in the first instruction, suppose the values are 8 multiplied 2, the values is 16, and instruction 2, the values are 8 plus 2, the value is 10. So first read data, then apply multiplication. Problem occurs when second instructions write first instructions read. We have discussed there are different scenarios in which addition performs first. So the CPU will read according to the sequence first statement, first instructions, that is A is equal to B multiplied by C. So here the B value is 8, right? The CPU will read that instruction. But at the same time, this is possible in parallel processing scenario that it performs addition first. So 8 plus 2 is equal to 10. So the B value is 10. So this is possibility that it performs addition first and the B value is 10. So when after executing instruction B, the processor execute instruction 1, then it will assumes the B value as 10, not 8. Because addition performs first. So the B block has the value 10 now instead of having 8. So when in instruction 1 it will look at the B block, then instead of having 8 it will override to value 10. So it will perform multiplication with 10 instead of the 8, which is the real value. If second instruction executes first, this is the second instructions. If second instructions executes first, then B value would be 10. While instruction 1 B value is 8, So first CPU will read. If due to second instruction execution B value is 10 written, then CPU will read 10 instead of reading 8. That is original value in instruction 1. So then this hazard occur. This will delay in instruction execution. So it's a special type of hazards that normally not occur so frequently. So the next hazard is, after the data hazard, structure hazard. Structure hazards occur when multiple instructions accessing same resource. There are multiple resources such as RAM, cache, register, processors. So the multiple instruction accessing the same resource. For example, in instruction 1, the first stage is fetching data, operand fetch, that is the second stage, the third is execution, and in the fourth stage it needs memory to write back, and in the fifth it writes the output. So instruction 1, writing in RAM in 5th clock cycle, right? In the same way, we know that we start instruction 2 when the stage 1 is free. So it's fetching data and decode, it's fetching operand, and then it's perform execution, and it's accessing the memory. So in the same way, when the instruction 1 is writing back into the memory, the instruction 2 also accessing the memory. So instruction 1 and instruction 2 both are using the memory. Both are accessing the same resource, right? Instruction 1 writing in RAM in 5th clock cycle, while instruction 2 accessing memory at 4th clock cycle. So 2 instruction accessing memory at the same time. So this caused delay in instruction execution. So this is called structure hazard. Hopefully you understand the concept. After the structure hazard, the third one is control hazard. This occurs due to branch conditions. For example, in branch conditions like for loops and ifs, and in all while loops, branch conditions counter increments automatically according to the logic, right? So condition counter, according to the condition counter, usually there are increment of 1. For example, when the instruction 1 is executed, when it starts execution, when it starts passing through different stages, the condition counter will be incremented automatically. When it will passes from the first stage to the second stage, the counter increments and the address value will be set to from 100 to 101. When the second instruction executed, when it's fetching data and decoding and operand performs, it's the counter, condition counter will automatically incremented and it will set from 101 to 102. When the third instruction executed, it will automatically incremented according to the condition, according to the logic, to the 102, from 102 to 103. Right? So it is automatically incremented. We all know that. But what if when the instruction 1 is executed and by default it has to go at 101, but after passing through all 5 stages, here is the output. So maybe in output you have to go to the at location number 200. According to the condition counter, we have to move to address number 101. But according to the output of the instruction 1, we have to go to address number 200. So there is a conflict between the output and between the condition counter. So the CPU will be confused that where it has to go. It has to follow the output, according to it has to go 200 memory address, or it has to move to the according to the conditional counter that sets to 101. So this is a confusing state. So this is called control hazards when the flow of execution is out of control, then control hazards occur which cause the delay in execution of instructions. So this is all about the hazards in pipelining. We have discussed three different types of hazards. The first one is data hazard, which cause due to the when we are using resources that are not ready. After that, we discussed the structured hazards that occurs when we are accessing the same resource by different instructions, instruction 1 and instruction 2 accessing the same resource like memory, and the control hazards which occur due to the branch conditions. These are all three hazards, and we also have discussed the three types of data hazards, that are WAR, WAV and RAW. So hopefully you understand the concept. This is all about today's lecture. Thank you very much.